You doing yawnies today, are you? Is that what it is? I have a feeling it is a bit warm. Yeah. This is rather on the swampy side, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, silly shelly dwellies. Hey? Should we say hello to the peeps and the replay crew? I think we probably should, shouldn't we? Yeah? Shall we? Yeah, we reckon. No, you agree with me, don't you? Yeah. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Greetings, hello, welcome. Hope everyone is okay. Well, those who are watching on replay, because there's nobody actually here yet. Woo! So, we have someone. A nasty, hot, sunny summer's day again in the UK. Just what we don't want. Well, those of us who don't like being roasted alive don't want it. Most people seem to be quite happily in their gardens having a barbecue with some kind of party, getting roasted and drunk. Not my kind of thing. I'd rather sit inside and talk to myself on YouTube. And sometimes I wonder if I'm not the weird one. I may well be. Anyway, let's crack a tinny. We have a new one for this week. A bad apple. So apple flavoured monster. We were in Home Bargains earlier, so picked up a few snackoids. Oh, my fingernails are getting too long to open cans, it would appear. All these cans have just got very strong lids. Sparkling cider without the alcohol. That's pretty much what that tastes like to me. Anyway, so what have I been up to this week? Really not a huge amount because it's been rather on the warm side. Monday, work, water changes. Tuesday, went for a ridiculously early bike ride. I think I left the house by 5:15. Back in time to do some shopping and then walk Pippa. Then finish my water changes. Wednesday I had a good flump of a day. Actually, no, I didn't. Wednesday, Mary and I went to Gresson Hall Workhouse and Farm Museum. If you're in the UK and ever in the area of Norfolk, I highly recommend it. Maybe not if you're sensitive to paranormal type stuff, but definitely worth a visit and well priced as well for what you get when you go there. Especially if one of you is disabled and the other one gets in for free as a carer. So there will be several videos to look out for from there. Some even worse camera work than usual, but that's because it's the school holidays, lots of children and other people about, and I do my best not to point my camera at other people, especially children. I don't want to be getting in trouble for it. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, work, shopping, work, that kind of thing. Hello, Debs, me darling. How are you? Hope all is well and you're not overheating too much. If you're ever in the area, Gresson Hall Workhouse and Farm Museum. And I will go into I go into what a workhouse actually was in the videos. Not the kind of place you want it to be. Let's just put it that way. Oh, I'm just too hot and a bit windy. Nothing really unusual there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to this week. Although, as I said, yeah, if you are sensitive to paranormal things, give Grasnall a miss, because it's got that heavy feeling. There are several spirits around, one of which scratched my arm. Yeah, and it's going to be even warmer tomorrow, Deb. So stay cool. Unfortunately, I've got to go to work, which is not going to be pleasant. But there we go. No, it wasn't. But I'm not going to say it was a demon. It was an evil spirit. My view is it was just something that someone realised I knew they were there and didn't want to be disturbed. So basically told me to go away. Evening, Linkbot. How are you? On the upside, though, it did mean that he did lots of snugglies the night working in the canteen. Oh, you have my definite sympathies. Oh, you're going to be having all the sweaty bits you don't want. No, thank you. I won't be in a canteen, but I will be in a metal box, basically. We do have aircon, but it is controlled externally. It is set at 26 degrees, which is about 10 degrees too hot. And people like to, it's a lovely hot sunny day, leave the doors open. No, shut them, let the aircon work. Leave the doors closed. Turn the ceiling fans off, because all that's doing is blowing the hot air down. Dixie, how you doing, my dearie? Kiddos, oh dear. Ain't many people call me a kiddo. Nor Debs, I guess. It's weird enough being in Norfolk and old men still call you butt, meaning boy. We're just grumbling about it being hot is all. That's the general thing. Hot and being attacked by ghosts in my case. So yes, it looks like this week I will probably be going for a very early bike ride again. Possibly a very, very sweaty one. Yeah, probably not good. But I'm off next week. Well, I'm working this week, but the week after I'm off. So hopefully the weather improves, gets nice and cold and rainy, and I can go for proper bike rides without worrying about heat stroke and heat exhaustion and flaking out halfway down the road miles from home. I've not got any long rides planned, but I might do one if the weather is amenable. What are you up to? Crazy fish. Shell dwellies being shell dwellies. It's just doing what they do. Arguing over a grain of sand. Although the way it's going in here, I'm pretty sure I may have accidentally sold all the males or all the females. Well, all the males will go with, because I was getting several batches of fry every month, and I haven't had any for quite a while. So that tells me I've either got a juvenile male who's not old enough yet to do the doink a doink inside a shell. Tommy, yes, Bexy Beast, how you doing? Hope all is wonderful and not ridiculously hot there in the 1-star state. Might be time to go jump in a pond or a tub or something, cool down. I would consider it, but I don't want leeches all over me, and I know I'd get tangled up in the net, so not safe. Yeah, definitely tastes like sparkling cider, just without the alcohol, because I had that earlier. I say I had alcohol earlier. I had what in essence is a shandy bass, and if you're UK, you'll know what a shandy bass is. It's a soft drink, which is like 99% lemonade with a tiny dribble of beer or lager in it, and it's very refreshing. It's like 0.5% alcohol, so you don't even have to be 18 to buy it. Although probably some places you'd still get asked. Let's face it, in order to get drunk off that stuff, you'd have to drink so much of it, you just probably die from a massive sugar rush. So what is it? If it's half a litre, %, you'd have to drink about 8 litres of it to have the same effect as 1 pint of beer. There ain't nobody drinking 8 litres of shandy bass in a day, not without being violently ill from the amount of sugar or the amount of water they've just taken in. That's the point. I've got some soup. No, it's too hot for soup. Ooh. It's going to have to be sandwiches for tea, I think. Cheese, ham, or pate? Cheese, ham, and pate. That might work. There's an idea. Well, hot weather and pate is probably not a good combination. Not with my belly. Keep your eyes open, Sharpe. It does help when you're on camera to keep your eyes open. So yeah. Anyone else been up to anything interesting this week? It's pretty much just been, let's say, work, and then went to work, water changes, and going to Gressonville. We did go out and look for some aquarium plants today, but went to Pets at Home and they didn't have any of the ones I wanted. They just had a Cooper, Heteranthera, and then the crypts I've already got hundreds of, which, yeah. I'm not paying for some Wendetii when I've got tankfuls of the bloody stuff and I'm throwing it in the bin. And yeah, they've scaled back their fishy stuffs as well. They don't seem to sell fluval tanks anymore. Um, haven't got half the food they used to have. Still got the same misnamed fish. Um, great. What's your 14-year-old doctor is driving up to our mailbox? Which is about more. Teaching 14-year-old to drive. Ooh. Community mailbox. Well, I would say it's never too early to start, but it is. But yeah, 14 is, if you just, this is how to accelerate, brake, and steer, and this is what the switches and buttons and levers do. Get used to actually driving a car before you start worrying about other people on the road, pedestrians, signs, speed limits, all the other stuff. Get the actual how to drive a car down pat first. Went through all that when she was 13 around our property. Got enough property for her to practice driving on. Driven on the road a few times already. Ooh. That'd be a big no-no in the UK. Thank you, Linkbot. Help the community grow. Like the video and hit subscribe. I think everyone here is already subscribed. Both of you. Yeah, I never really got taught to drive. I just had to figure it out for myself. Not that I have a driver's license or anything, but I can drive. Pardon me. One of those things you sort of figure out over the years. Like how to do a jump on a bike or a big hop or a skid. You learn those things as a child, and then in later life you learn how not to do them and fall off. Touch wood. Touch wood, I got bashing in the accidents out of the way when I was little and healed fairly quickly. I wouldn't want to have a big smash these days. Take me forever to heal. Yeah, really don't want any of that if I can help it. And I've got enough sick days owing to me. Yeah, I think I've got like 24 sick days saved up. So what happens when you only work part-time, and if you are feeling a bit off, 6 hours is a lot easier to do than 8 hours, especially when you're doing lates. Because that gives you the rest of the day to start to get a lot of paracetamol and ibuprofen or whatever into your system and get yourself sorted before you do have to go to work, rather than getting out of bed and then having to go straight to work and you still feel like hell. Plus, I don't tend to hang about with people in crowded public places and catch all their bugs either. It's always a bonus. Things you don't want to do: catch everyone else's illnesses. Mary tends not to catch them, but then that's because, well, she's worked with kiddies for donkey's years, so she's had everything. Her immune system is like a brick wall. Mine is a bit more fragile, but not quite so bad. I'll still get stuff, but I don't tend to get it too badly. If I do get something that is a problem, it's very inconsiderate customers. Exactly, Debs. But again, with where I work, it's not the sort of place that people come to if they don't really need to. It's like if you're ill, you last thing probably on your mind is doing DIY. Let's be honest. But yeah, food shops. Oh god, yes. Working food retail, yes, you get all the people coming in, coughing, sneezing, spluttering. Yeah, yeah. It's the ones, and they turn up at your till, and you look, and there's cold medicine, cough mixture, tissues. Yeah, I'll be washing my hands after this customer then. Yeah, yes, we do actually do that. If we suspect the person we just served has probably got something that we might catch, we will use the opportunity to get the old anti back. You have to, or you catch everything going under the sun. I still see people doing their shopping with masks on. I went into. I swear, some of the old people still think that like the first hour of opening is just for them. But no, that stopped at the end of lockdown. There's going to the local supermarket at just gone 7, and it's old people all still wearing masks, giving you dirty looks because you're not old and you're not wearing a mask. Are you still really that scared of COVID? And yes, I know it's still a thing, it's still ongoing, but it's not as virulent as it once was, let's put it that way. These days, I think it's more like a minor dose of flu. Oh, we have a whole 5 people. I'm guessing most are just lurking. Lurk along. That, I've always said that's the worst part of working in a customer's facing role. In a shop, anywhere. Customers. They either, admittedly with food, general food stuff, you don't get asked too many weird questions. But other things, they expect you to know everything about everything, or you do know, but they still think they know better than you. So I was educating a family in pets at home today about keeping fish. Basically, telling them completely different things to what the pets at home employee had said. Turns out they were taking the fish out of the tank, changing all the water, changing the cartridge or the sponges in the filter, and then putting the fish back, and wondering why the fish was dying. They were scrubbing the tank clean because they thought, if it was dirty, that might be the problem. I'm like, it's not the dirt that's the problem. You're keeping it too clean. There needs to be dirt in a fish tank. There needs to be some muck and mire. That's good. But if you keep it too clean, then the fish die. I mean, admittedly, yes, there's a difference between a manky, nasty fish tank and a healthy one, but yes, what we would call clean is not good. Oof. I believe it's less than half an hour and I've already run out of stuff I can waffle on about. I'm trying desperately to avoid politics because, admittedly, as amusing as what's going on the other side of the pond is at the moment, we'll stay out of that one. What else is going on in the world? Olympics. Haven't really. We've won some more medals, but I haven't really been paying too much attention. Well, it's been quite amusing. There have been some videos on bike channels of people trying to ride at the same pace as the Olympic level cyclists and wondering why they can't. Vroom, vroom. Here's the mad mower himself. How you doing, Tom? Don't know why my throat did weird things then. Hope you're having fun. Chopping the vegetation of Tampa into little pieces. And I presume you are familiar with lawnmower racing. I think we might have talked about that one before. If you've not watched it, lawnmower racing is hilarious and awesome. And it's not racing to see who can mow a certain section of lawn as quick as possible. It's like motor racing, but with ride-on lawnmowers, technically, and not what you might know as a ride-on lawnmower. And yes, they do remove the blades because that would be a bit dangerous in the event of a crash. Make it even more interesting, though. Darling, how are you? I'm not blue. I'm fine. I'm just too hot, that's all. I'm okay. Don't you worry about me. Mwah. Yeah, I'm just hot and yeah, I don't do heat. I would say in need of a nap. I had a good nap earlier with Mary, so yeah, just hot and hungry is all it is. I'm fine. Don't you worry about me. I don't like it when people worry about me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ivy. Happy birthday to you. ones aren't that bad. Yeah, I can't wait. Well, not necessarily winter, autumn or fall will be good. Winter in the UK does get quite nasty. I mean, as long as it's not as wet as it was last winter, because that was horrific. It was basically flooded from like late September through till March. Yeah, I'd rather it wasn't quite that wet. There are certain things I like wet, but not that wet. A little bit of a drier one, so I can actually get out and drier and less windy. That would be ideal, so I can still do some bike rides. Get out and about, do some filming, hopefully. Although, as lovely as Norfolk looks this time of the year, with everything green and lush and all the fields full of wheat and barley and everything looks absolutely lovely. Come November, December time, everything is a depressing shade of brown. Roads are covered in mud. Usually from the sugar beet. Harvesting the sugar beet, which means that all the lorries drag all the mud onto the roads, and then it rains and spreads it about. And it's bad enough when you're riding along and you hit a horse turd this time of year, let alone when it's winter time. It's all wet and sludgy, sprays. Yes, people ride horses on the streets around here. Well, the little country lanes, not so much in the town. Although there is one ponying track that goes through town fairly regularly. It's when you know you're rural. And there's still people using horses as forms of transport. I've noticed it a couple of times when I've been on a random bike ride and gone to a small village shop. Pony poop, yeah. Get the emojis over there. I can't be bothered to go and grab it and squeeze it. Some of the shops you'll get like the little rail for tiny dog too, and there'll be like a couple of little ones for locking bikes too. There have been hitching rails outside a couple of them. I don't know whether I would trust them to hold a horse, as they're like screwed to the wall with about 6 screws. So I think if a horse panicked, it would just pull that clean off the wall. Yeah, something you have to bear in mind when cycling around this part of the country. You might go around the corner and there's a horse there. And you never know. It's like, do I ring my bell to let the rider know I'm there? And will that freak out the horse? Or do I just overtake and hope that I don't just suddenly appear in a horse's vision and spook it? Thankfully, I haven't freaked out any horses yet. Well, not on the road anyway. Matter of time, I suppose. Not what you want. You come around the corner and there's a horse right in front of you, either facing towards or away from you. There's some of the roads around here, there's a horse and a cyclist. There ain't a lot of room left to pass. I mean, like going the other way. Oh, Bunny Mark on Pink Rose cheered me up the other day. Funny how angels turn up when you. Oh. Yeah, I'm not an angel. Never have been. Not one thing about me that's angelic. My voice isn't. You always count on Mark. Yeah. He may be a grumpy old guy, but he's a good guy. I'll give him a hug. Oh, I haven't got a halo. Definitely not. I am no angel. I try to be a decent person. I just try to treat others as I'd like to be treated. I try to be nice and polite, and deep down I just want to tell everyone to F off. Most of the time. Yeah. Although that might just be working retail again. Oh, I had one customer yesterday, bless her. Yeah. I had to get my female manager to come to the front to just sort of witness. Because she was being rather forward and wearing something very, very revealing. It was barely covering some very large things. Yeah, I'm not quite comfortable with this. I need a witness. Sharpe and Angel, who's got the drugs and where can I get some? Exactly, Adele. How are you, me darling? Yeah, I'm probably chaotic good if there was a actual alignment chart for real people. Chaotic good. Bit stiff and sore. It's been a long week. Oh dear. Well, Dr. Sharpe recommends a nice long relax in a hot bath with either some Radox or Epsom salts in there. Mandatory day off for public holiday. Oh, oh. Which public holiday would that be? It's Australia, is it? Oh, pass. Trying to think, and my brain's just completely blank on what Australia's public holidays might be. Eka. Nah. Yeah. Many moons ago, it wasn't a national holiday, but everyone in this part of the country got either the Wednesday or the Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Everyone got one of those days off to go to the Norfolk show, which basically meant everyone just took the day off and stayed at home because Norfolk show, no thank you. Howdy, Bruiser, how you doing? Okay, Royal Show right in the city. So the Norfolk show or the Royal Norfolk show, is basically one of those big sort of fete type things, but very rural. So lots of horses and cows and sheep and goats and tractors and farm equipment and farmers. It's not what I'd call a good day out. Let's put it that way. Not for someone like me, anyway. Got dragged there once when I was young, when I was a child, a teenager. Hated every minute of it. Then actually, as an adult, speak English, not American, Sharpe. As an adult, I was part of an attraction. What part of a rural attraction were you, Sharpie? I was racing radio control cars. And to say most of the day we had a bigger crowd than most of the main exhibits would be underselling it. You know, much like the Attleborough Carnival, which local town carnival, big day out, ooh, big thing. Where they had the radio control car club, because there was one in Attleborough at the time. They had us there 1 year, and we decided grass, and they didn't ask us back. Sam's at the dog park hunting for dogs. How you doing, Sammy? How you doggo doing? I'm going to say me lots of animals and agricultural stuff, knitting and fruit and veggies and homely things and cat, dog, livestock. Yeah. Kind of thing that if you're into that stuff, okay, but the rest of it, meh. Three dogs wrapped around your finger. Ooh, feel all powerful. As long as they're all pulling in the same direction, you're okay. It's when they start pulling in different directions. And hopefully you got plenty of poop bags with you. More for kids. Show bag, check on a few rides, see the animals. Yeah, that's. I mean, I say the Norfolk show is kind of like that. Sort of, it's for the farmers and the kids, which means anyone who's not a small child or a farmer is just bored poopless after about half an hour. And people spend the whole day there going, oh, wow. Like, really? How do you spend the whole day there? It took me half an hour to walk around it. Poop bags, I've got to go. It's hot half an hour. Ta-da! Back and cruising around the whole time. Well done, Mini Creek. Yeah. Now you got to teach it to drive on the right. Oh, sorry, on the right-hand side of the car, left-hand side of the road. Then you can come over to the UK and she can do the driving. Tommy's daughter is learning how to drive. So what will be a Mini Creek? A brook. I'll go with Silver Brook. There we go. Yeah, as I say, make the most of the day off. And as I say, yeah, a nice long soak in a hot bath. Maybe with a glass of wine. Some little tea light candles if you're feeling a bit poncy. No, she won't on the road. You're safe. Yes. Bunny drops in there. She's got the time. She comes here to check I'm okay, and then to have a hug, yeah. And a smoochie. That's purely it, I'm sure. Check I'm alive and not too depressed. But as I said, I don't suffer with depression. Depression suffers with me. Much like if I got possessed, whatever was possessing me would probably be like, oh my God. Get me out of here. Don't like it. There's weird dark stuff going on in here. I don't like it. My safe place is probably most people's nightmare. Oh yeah. It's only the truly insane people that think they're sane. The rest of us know we're nuts and just think, yeah, whatever. I think there's some truth in that. If you're like 100% sane and normal, there's probably something wrong with you. Howdy, Mark. Bit late sitting outside. It's not nice. It's hot and sunny. No, although it is quite breezy out now, so it has cooled down a little bit. So I have got a bit of a breeze blowing past me. So the swamp butt hasn't happened quite yet. I'm nearly drunk all that already. Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. The bunny mum. What would a bunny mum be called? The bun mother. Yes, there we go. The bun mother. Been cooking something yummy and delicious, no doubt. With a cake with 18 candles on it. I had a cake with 18 candles on. I mean, it was 30 years ago, but I had one. Actually, I didn't. But what did I do for my 18th? Absolutely nothing. Man, at the weekend, I went to see a friend on my moped. Had a couple of drinks, stayed the night, came home the next morning, and then got in trouble for being late home. And apparently, hadn't not gone to bed at the proper time, and yeah. How dare you enjoy yourself on your birthday? We had a list of chores planned for you to do the next day. So yes, my first hangover was spent mowing a quarter-acre lawn with a push mower. Because, sensible. Got two balconies. One has shade right now, looking out over the world from the 8th floor. It will be cooler higher up, and there will be more breeze. I think the only times I've ever gone up to the 8th floor has been in an office building or a car park. Artichoke, heart lasagna, and mandarin orange cake. Ooh, very posh. Artichoke are delicious. Already expensive, but delicious. One of the fruit veg I will. If I see it on the menu, then I might choose it as a vegetarian dish. Otherwise, I'm just going to go for the burger or or sausages and mash with onion gravy. Depends what kind of restaurant I'm in. But then I've had the kind of friends in the past who, if you went to an Asian restaurant, they would still want steak or burger and chips. But why would you come to a Japanese restaurant to order English white food? Why would you not order something Japanese at a Japanese restaurant? You might as well have just gone to Burger King in that case. If I was Japanese, I would probably go with probably some kind of teriyaki beef noodle dish with stir-fried veg. Soy and sesame, either dipping sauce or over the top dressing. Yeah, that sounds good to me. And some fried sweet dumplings for dessert. Actually, that reminds me, I went up in the Wayback Machine when I was doing the old online dating thing. One wanted to go to Yosugi, which is a chain of sushi restaurants in the UK. I was like, okay, yeah, fine, yeah. Well, I enjoy sushi. I'll go to a sushi restaurant for a day. That's not a problem. And she then proceeded to complain that the food was cold and the fish hadn't been cooked properly. I was like, you do realise what sushi is, right? Apparently she'd had sushi before, but it had been cooked. That's not sushi. That's fish and rice. That's basically going to the Japanese chippy. So yeah, that was that one. There wasn't a second. One of the ones where it was my decision there wouldn't be a second date. Evening, Andrew. I'd have ordered for her to teach her a lesson. Yeah. And she had no idea how to use chopsticks either. Oh, yeah, it's Mal, not Andrew. Duh. I read aquarium and saw the D and assumed it was Andrew. Sorry, Mal. I got as far as aquarium dirt and my brain went daily. Food, yeah. Yeah, a bit of puffer fish. But first date, I'm not stretching to buying the expensive stuff. She'd want the fugu, she could have had it, but she'd have been paying for it. Don't. Yeah. Plus, you're both northerners, so you'll look the same to me. Sorry. Not sorry. Oh dear. It's not often you get to use that joke and it's not actually offensive. Yeah, you can use those kind of jokes with your own race and nationality. Or the French. Or the French Canadians, because yeah, they're the same thing. The French. Oh, what have the French ever done for the world other than, their cuisine, the wine? We invented the guillotine, not the French. Um, Weirdly, they have won more wars than they've lost, which is what a lot of people don't realise. Admittedly, a lot of the ones they lost were to us. Oh, why do I get a feeling that joke's going to get this live stream demonetised? Well, the amount of money I make off of a live stream is not really going to break the bank if it is. Hate people who are intolerant to other customs and the Dutch classic Austin Powers. Yeah, I like the Dutch. Dutch are cool. They're generally just cool and laid back people, except when football gets involved. But yeah, this is it. Every country and religion and culture has its own customs and ways of doing things. And while they might not necessarily sit well in your country, you can't just go, no, it's wrong. I mean, certain things you can, but the way certain countries treat animals or women. But even in those places, things are changing. Slowly, but they are. But yeah, at least try and understand each other. That's the main thing. We're all just people. We're all just trying to get on in the world and make friends. And just, especially when we're on holiday and we're in another country, we are an ambassador for our own country. So, for example, if I went on holiday to Spain, I wouldn't want people to just assume I'm a typical Brit going there to get absolutely wrecked and cause trouble. No, I'm here to learn about the custom and the history and explore and museums and that kind of thing. I'm not here to go partying and get wrecked and vomit everywhere. Yeah, exactly. You learn about these things, and sometimes they actually make more sense. It's like that whole argument against atheism. Well, if you don't believe in God, then what's stopping you becoming evil and horrible? And it's like you can't really call yourself a good person if the only reason you're being good is so that you don't go to hell. Right. If that was taken away, you're saying that you'd be a bad person. Huh? So yeah, just don't be a dick. It's quite simple, really. And as I think it is fairly worldwide news at the moment, I'm assuming people have been aware of the protests that have been going on in the UK lately. I've kind of been ignoring it because it's just a bunch of far right radical racists just being dicks, really. Nothing for it. Okay, the thing that triggered it off was horrific. It should never have happened. But it did. However, you can't go blaming everyone who isn't white, English, and Christian for it. The only people you can blame for it are the people who did it. And just because they happen to be a certain colour, creed, or religion, it's not the it's not the fault of the colour, the creed, or religion necessarily. It's the fault of that person becoming radicalised and believing the BS. And then the people who believe the BS on the other side then go, yeah. I thought we were going to mention the breakdancing. I've seen a few memes and things of that, but I didn't actually watch it, thankfully, because I mean, to me, it just looked like someone was having some kind of seizure on the stage, just from what I saw from the memes of it. Yeah. Breakdancing at the Olympics is like having Australia in the Eurovision Song Contest. The Eurovision Song Contest. Keyword being Euro. Now, not that I'm slating Australia, because given the music that normally turns up at the Eurovision Song Contest, Australia has far better music. Yes, there was breakdancing at the Olympics. Yes. It's right up there with the horse mincing as being pointless and shouldn't be there. Mouse and plan for the next ones. Yeah, I reckon we should both do it, Mal, and basically just say take some drug that causes massive seizures. Just go on stage and have some kind of massive grand mal seizure. There you go. Oh yeah, wait till you watch it. Oh God. I mean, I've only seen a few seconds, but oh dear, you love Eurovision. Yeah, you get to see just how bad European music can get. And every so often there'll be a hard rock or heavy metal, usually somewhere like Finland or Sweden, that gets put in and wins by a country mile because everyone's sick of the Euro pop. Yeah, our dance street name, Grand Mal. There we go. You do dance and I'll stand and do the beatboxing. How's that sound? And we can swap over halfway through. That'll mess them up. Actually, what music would we break dance to? Some I don't know. Some Vivaldi, perhaps. Oh yeah, something completely wrong. Well, given some of the poses I saw, Evita might work well. Where's that Turkish guy with the gun when you need him? Oh, bless him. no, not making your mind up. No, no. I am not chorus with Hebrew slaves. Yeah, we'll wait to the next Berlin Olympics for that one. Yeah, we're not doing Bucks Fizz. Not unless we can get, I don't know, Debs and Donna to just be standing there at the side of the station and whip their skirts halfway through. Hello, Mandy. How are you, my dear? What a time to turn up. And to those not familiar, I will explain that one. Making Your Mind Up was the Eurovision entry for Great Britain. 1 year. The group was Bucks Fizz. And the big wow moment was that the two female members were wearing a longer skirt that was just above the knee and a shorter skirt. And the men whipped off the longer skirts that the girls were wearing. It was like, oh, wow. It was just a bit of fabric velcroed around. It was, yeah. Oh, no, I've got it, Mal. I know exactly what we would need to have as our music for the Olympic breakdancing. I love you, yes I do. Don't you know you're my special brew? Either that or Lip Up Fatty. Something by Bad Manners. Oh, if you're not familiar with the ska group Bad Manners, just watch a couple of videos. You'll understand why it's so funny. Oh, now I'm just imagining Buster Bloodvessel breakdancing in a tutu and Doc Martens. Oh boy, that would be hilarious. He probably did it. Oh, yeah, you go get some sleep, Debbie. Rockabye baby on the treetop. You're going to die. Somebody remind me to tell my High School Musical Bucks Fizz story. I was bumped off stage for a kid without glasses. Yeah, thankfully we didn't have to do that at school. I just basically got banned from doing anything music because I wasn't interested in classical music or playing an acoustic guitar. Yeah, he danced the can-can on top of the pops in a can-can dress and Doc Martens, didn't he? He was doing cartwheels and everything and high kicks. And it's always a good one to watch people reacting to. Because they are being trolled when they get told to react to that. When I saw the other, those vocal coach reacts to Freebird, and they did the full length version. There's like no lyrics for the first minute, and there's lyrics for about 3 minutes. There's like 5 or 6 minutes of guitar solo. They were kind of thrown by that. Lip up farty, lip up farty, farty reggae, do 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 do. And then you try and explain ska and skanking to a teenager. Doesn't go well. There was some madness came on the radio the other day at work, so I started skanking. And the new hire, poor 16-year-old, looked very confused. You're obviously completely unfamiliar with the concept of scar and skanking. You imagine me just skanking up and down in the warehouse as I'm picking orders. He's just standing there going, what? What's going on? I think it was Wings of a Dove. So obviously every time it got to the whoa, whoa. Everyone over the age of 40 understood exactly what I was doing. Everyone under the age of 40 had no clue. Good job Ricky Martin didn't come on, because I'm sorry, if Livin' La Vida Loca comes on, I'm shaking that thing. That's gone down in history. You can probably ask anyone who worked with that Hamilton Acorn, and it's seared indelibly into their mind. Me standing on a stack of pallets, shaking my booty, Ricky Martin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, if you do the Macarena, that counts. If it embarrasses anyone of the next generation, it counts. If it embarrasses or confuses them. Yeah, it has to be done. As parents, step parent, it is our job to embarrass the youngsters. Yeah, it's the birdie dance. Oh dear. Just don't let any of the Gen Z, Gen Z hear Star Trekking by The Firm or the Chicken Song by Spitting Image, because that might melt their brains. Hold a chicken in the air, stick a deck chair up your nose, climb inside a cave and behead an Eskimo. It was just absolute gobbledygook. None of it made any sense, but it was awesome. Yeah, if you've not heard the Chicken Song, I highly suggest you watch it. And when they look at me weird, I say things like, "You ain't about this life." I got that Riz fam, no cap. And they cringe into nothingness. Yeah, or when they tell you something you don't believe it, you just go, yeah, press X for doubt. Mal, there's a limit. You just cross the line there. We do not mention that. Oh dear. That's right up there with Timmy Mallet. She wore an itsy bitsy. Yeah, you're just making me sing. That's what it is today. You're determined to see if I can get a copyright strike. Then see if any of the artists mentioned actually wants to be associated with it. Yeah, Agadoo, that was like the party song of the 80s and early 90s. Any party, wedding, whatever, you could guarantee Agadoo would come on. Now I'm going to have to go listen to some Cradle of Filth to cleanse my ears. Or if you really want to confuse them, talk in the slang that we used to use when we were kind of their age. I won't have a clue what we're talking about. Although, did we really use that much slang when we were teenagers? I don't think we did. Most of it was just insults. Well, that might just be being in the UK. I called a colleague Joey Deacon the other day and he had no clue what I was going on about. Yeah, I think that's probably an English thing, as most of the slang we use was just to insult each other. Mostly based from probably Blackadder, Bottom. Red Dwarf. Yeah, a lot of Red Dwarf insults were thrown about. There was a lot of calling each other smeghead. Yeah, well, we probably did, just don't recall or still use it and don't think of it as slang because it's still in the vocab. But yeah, I mean, I know what no cap means. I haven't got a clue what Riz is. To me, Riz is an abbreviation of Rizzlers, which are cigarette papers. And I'm actually on Rizzlers at the moment. Yes, I am, but I'd probably better not show a cigarette paper packet because Riz is short for charisma. Ah. Right. It still makes very little sense, but then I'm old. And the other one I keep seeing and hearing is drizzle, drizzle. I have no idea what that's all about. I know what tea is all about. Sharing the tea or spilling the tea, that kind of thing. But drizzle, drizzle, not a clue. That's gone so far over my head, it might as well have been a jumbo jet. I'll stick to just calling people a smeghead. Be done with it. Makes life a lot easier. Or just speaking normal English. That's English, by the way. I do occasionally accidentally slip into American English or Norfolk. It was one of the things I very nearly bought when we were at the museum the other day. It was actually a book on the Norfolk dialect. It wasn't a amusing one, it was like a proper textbook type one. So while it said everything and showed exactly how it was pronounced and what have you, it didn't look like it was going to be a very entertaining read. So if I get a book like that, it'll be one that's funny. Guessing drizzle is related to you got that drip when you dress well or are stylish. My dad meant you had a venereal disease. Yeah, it still does. And if you've got drizzle, definitely need to see a doctor. That's what I would say. If there's drizzle from anywhere, go see a doctor. because there should either be nothing coming out or it should be a steady stream. But yeah, that'll be why I've never heard it said to me then. Me and style just, as you can see, don't go hand in hand. He says wearing fluffy memory foam slippers, lounge shorts and a t-shirt with random scraggy long hair. And that's me making an effort. Yeah, well, most of it, I'm pretty sure no one wants me sitting here in just my boxers. I mean, I know Sam would. Sam would be very happy if I did that. But ain't nobody else wants to see that. Pretty sure not even Mary wants to see that. I don't. That's why I don't have a bath. I don't want to see myself naked. Joke, I do bathe. I've got everything on Urban Dictionary when I feel old. Don't want it in my Google search algorithm, but I want to know what the kids are saying. Yeah, as a parent, that's probably for the best to actually understand what your children are saying, so you know whether to clip them around the ear or laugh. As long as they don't start slipping into Victorian era English, you're okay, or Edwardian, even worse. Yeah, I'm not worried about my Google search algorithm. That is just, my Google search history is just so random, it's unreal. It's everything from like bike parts, fish stuff, historical stuff, paranormal stuff, gifts for her, random facts, battleships. How many people died here? That kind of thing. And it's a reason to have a second device that isn't actually hooked up to your main accounts. So if you want to do anything iffy, you can do it on that. Like, for example, my troll YouTube account, which gets used very, very rarely these days, for some reason has subscribers. It's literally just an account I use to troll people, and somehow it gets subscribers. I really don't know how or why. There's zero content, there's not even a stock image. Yeah, definitely keep up to date with what the youth are talking about. It seems to change every sort of 6 weeks. Just as you think you figured stuff out, then they change what they're saying. It's like, oh, no, I've got to figure it all out again. So I just gave up. My sub to trolls, I like to keep an eye on them. Yeah, you may, I think you may actually be one of the subs. Pretty sure Candy is. Or was. I haven't seen Candy for yonks. Hope she's okay. Unless there's been some more fish fam drama that I've missed out on. I seem to miss out on all of it these days. It seems to happen when I'm in bed, and then I'll like wake up, go do something a week later, and there's a bunch of people not talking to each other again. It's like, oh well. I'll just stick in my little corner of weirdness on the internet then. Try to offend everyone equally. Well, I haven't started any beef with anyone for a while. Yeah, there are certain ones that I used to enjoy trolling and winding up, but I can't because they blocked me. You know, the ones who don't like actually hearing opinions that aren't the same as their own. Seeing the co-op streams, kind of stopped going elsewhere mostly. Got tired of the drama, and better for the business to stay out of it. Not be associated with the dramas and the beefs that go on, and the petty rubbish. Definitely. Corey's definitely got his head screwed on straight. Well, next time you see Candy, my dearie, give her a hug for me. Well, a virtual hug. Very happy with Kirk and her son. Oh, good. So I think the last, and this will show how long ago it was, I think the last I spoke to Candy, Caleb had just got the all clear, or shortly after that. So, it's probably been a few years. So I think it was shortly before or shortly after she started working for Corey. I think that was when it was. Yes, probably for the best that Corey's not associated with this stream or channel at all. And no, that's not a weird ghostly face showing up in the. That's a reflection coming from the kitchen. I hope. Well, actually, I can't see it if I turn around. Yeah, that's weird. That is very weird. I know what it is a reflection of some brambles blowing around. But I can't actually see it. It just shows up on camera. So I can see where it's reflecting from in the kitchen on the wall. But when I turn around, it's not there. Let's be honest, it wouldn't be the first time something paranormal showed up on one of my videos or streams. First time I've actually noticed it though. There was one stream a while back where we actually heard Zacky Boy meowing. And that was after he'd gone under the earth, as it were. Good job I'm not scared by these things. So what was I saying? Yeah, the trip to the Gressenhall, depending on how Norfolk you say it or how English you say it. The trip there, don't know how many videos I made or took. 4 or 5, might be even up to half a dozen videos in total. Say the Workhouse and Farm Museum, we didn't really do the farmy part because it's a petting zoo, let's be honest. We all know what we're going to see in a petting zoo. But anyone who does watch those videos, keep an eye and an ear out because I might have missed stuff that was going on. How do I feel about Ouija boards? Ouija, not Ouija. Ouija is someone from Glasgow. One who believes you don't want to open that portal, or is there any chance of getting a stream at some point? Now, bearing in mind they were created by Milton Bradley as a Victorian parlour game, I'm not one to necessarily believe in the power of the Ouija board. That said, it's a fairly simple way for something to communicate because the planchette isn't exactly heavy. Yeah, I won't be doing any seance streams. I mean, if you put me in a dark room and sit me down for a couple of hours, I'm just going to fall asleep. I mean, that might sound fairly demonic, me snoring, but I say it's not something I've ever really. I mean, we did it once when I was a kid, and we did it on like the inside lid of a pizza box, and yeah, yes, it moved around, but it was going to be one of us was doing it. It wasn't moving on its own kind of thing. Because the place we were doing it wasn't haunted at all, which I think is what my buddies missed out on, the fact that I knew that the place wasn't haunted because I couldn't feel anything. Dang it, hoping Zach might make an appearance and we get to see the floof fist. Exactly. Leave them up, leave them be. Yes, if they want to communicate, they will. In my case this week, the communications were it's really dark and heavy and doesn't feel good in here. In the schoolroom, it feels really light and there's definitely something here, but it's nothing nasty. So going into what they called the dungeon, which is just a cell that they locked people up in for breaking the rules. Well, so we'll leave that one be. I'm all for speaking, experiencing all these kind of things, but I really can't stand it when people go somewhere that is haunted and try to antagonize and upset and just to get something to happen. Yeah, I know it's just for clicks and it makes good TV and more people will watch it if stuff actually happens, but it's not realistic. Most of the times, if I visit somewhere that is paranormally active, shall we say, or haunted, or whatever you want to call it, nothing actually happens. It's not things moving around and flying about and apparitions and growls, and it's just a general vibe and a feel that you're not alone, that there's something watching you, someone watching you. And I at least do get a vibe whether it's what kind of feel it is, whether it's something positive, happy, light, like the schoolroom at Gresson Hall, or it's something heavy, you know, like the rest of the workhouse. Let's be honest, workhouses weren't pleasant places, and a lot of people died there. Or whether like Civitshall St Mary Church, where it's light and friendly, welcoming, if you're respectful. Because there are people who have visited that church and had some really nasty experiences because they went there and tried to stir things up. Hello, Donna. Oh, up a Whitby Pier. You're in a spot of fishing with Andrew and yourself. Well, if you're in Whitby, you've got to go visit Whitby Abbey. The which is, well, it was the home of Dracula when he was in the UK. Is it Whitby Abbey, Whitby Cathedral? Big ruined place on the top of the hill by the cliff. That'd be where I'd be visiting. I hope you all hope you're having a wondrous time in Whitby, and I hope you catch some yummy, delicious fishies. And I reckon you'll outfish Andrew. Like watching the ghost hunt shows, pointing out the habit, that was a moth, not a light anomaly. Do you think energy keeps going? It does. So, you know, whether it's people get stuck, haven't crossed over, don't want to, whether it's like the stone tape theory, where if enough misery happens in a place, it just kind of holds on to that feel. You know, we can't prove anything. There isn't the scientific evidence there to prove it yet. Who knows, in time there might be, and then we can actually work out what these things are. Yeah. And as I say to people who go, oh, I don't believe in ghosts, no, it's just rubbish. There's been enough weird, unexplainable stuff happen to enough people over the course of recorded history that there has to be something. It can't all just be people making it up for a prank. Even if you don't believe me that I've experienced things, that I've got a bloody cat that still comes and sleeps on my bed nearly 3 years after he passed. I've got goes to a little girl who followed me home from Norwich. Generally stays in my spare bedroom and stomps around sometimes at night, and sometimes makes herself kind of visible. And giggles when I fart sometimes. If you don't, fair enough. But it's like there's no such thing as aliens. Well, the amount of planets there are, if you look at how many stars there are, chances are, and we've got the technology now to find the planets as they orbit the stars, statistically wise, there has to be. Had some very real, very freaky instances that I can't explain. There was a realistic explanation, more likely to believe the obvious. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going instantly, oh, it's a ghost. Like, especially if it's a noise, right? Random noises in an old building. Yeah, a lot of them are going to be things settling or pipes moving or anything, rats, birds, all sorts of things, drafts. It could be anything. People who wake up to spirits or bodies sent question the existence of sleep paralysis. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Yeah, you need science. You want empirical data to go, yes, this is this. But you're not going, no, 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 it's not real. Because you've experienced things that you go, I have no idea. No idea what the hell that was. Um, then I have more experiences because I go looking for them, and I've lived in houses that are older than quite a few countries. I do love that when it's a century house. What do you mean it's a century house? It's number 100. No, it's been around for 100 years. Oh, so it's a new build then. What? 100 years isn't an old house in the UK. That's when they were still building them properly. Um, yes, so I've never experienced sleep paralysis myself. I mean, I've been paralytic. I've been unconscious while I've been asleep, but and it's probably because I have experienced so much over my life that if I'm asleep, these things tend not to wake me up when they happen. But when you know there's nobody next door, and you know you're the only person in your house, and you've lived in your house long enough to know the noises your house makes, and then you hear someone clumping about in boots upstairs. Literally, you hear them going lump, 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 lump. Yeah, okay. I just sort of say hello. Usually does the trick. All calms down. Just letting me know they're there. That's all. Ooh, well, my eyes going weird. It's because it's getting dark. Yeah. Excuse me. Not that it's getting dark. It's just, well, it's not bright sunlight out anymore at this time of day. It's not going to be too much longer before I start needing my lights on my bikes coming home from work. Yeah, need it to not fit into any science I know and willing to go along for the ride until something normal shows itself. Yeah, I was watching a video the other day and they're going on about fairies or the fae folk. And again, I'm not going to say there's no such thing as the fae. I've not experienced it that I'm aware of. But other people say they have. And I'm not going to say every single person who says they have is lying or mistaken. But yeah, a lot of the purported videos of fairies flying about are just insects, especially the recent ones where it's like a ring doorbell. Same with aliens. Not saying sure with the only thing. Fernie's paradox. The more it likes it will be explained by gassy people will tell me about being probed. Yeah, I say, statistically, we're not the only lot. This isn't the only planet that harbours life in the universe. Now, have they visited us? Possibly. But given the amount of time it would take to travel the distances, why? Uh, unless they develop faster than light travel. But even then, it's going to take a long time. Yeah, I think a lot of it is, as you say, it's either gas, weather balloons, ball lightning. These days, drones as well, or unidentified, no, secret military aircraft. Uh, Again, I'm not saying there aren't such a thing, but who's to say what they look? Are they even carbon based? Are they even humanoid in form? Why? It's not a very efficient form. The crab seems to be the most efficient form, given that everything seems to eventually evolve into crabs. So yeah, little green men, little grey men. Yeah, I'm not sold on, but there being something. We're not the only life. We're not on the only planet that supports life in the universe or moon. And you think how many moons some planets have. Is there life in our solar system? Probably not. But then there are moons of Jupiter and Saturn that are basically ice with what is thought to be liquid water underneath it. And if there's liquid water and amino acids have turned up, then life can evolve. It might just be microbes or bacteria, but that's life. I really wouldn't be surprised if they found duckweed on one of the moons of Saturn. Yeah, that's going to be it. There's going to be duckweed out there somewhere in the universe. Duckweed and algae and pond snails. That's what they're going to find. Pretty sure of it. Because plants will evolve before, life, and then you'll start out with the microbes, and they'll gradually get bigger and bigger until you start getting multi-celled organisms, and then who knows from there. Exactly, alien duckweed. Yeah, that and cherry shrimp. There's going to be some neocaridina randomly somewhere, or guppies. Yeah, so that would be the thing. Oh dear. They do actually find life on a moon in our solar system. Bring it back. It's going to be water based. That's going to be the thing everyone wants in their aquariums. Alien fish. Well, yeah, we've got plenty of life on Earth that we haven't. Plenty of areas on the planet that we live on that we haven't, fully discovered yet. Yeah, and that's how the alien bacteria will take us all out. Yeah, exactly. They'll find something, and obviously it'll be a one-way mission, but then they'll find life, so they'll then want to go back and keep going back. And then eventually they'll bring a sample back to Earth, and that's when we're screwed. Because we've all seen The Thing. We've all seen Alien. Yeah, there's plenty we haven't discovered in the deep oceans yet. I'm not saying megalodon is real, because that's gone extinct. But yeah, there's a lot down there that we've not discovered yet, and they're discovering new things every living time they go down there. It seems. And hell, there are Greenland sharks that are swimming around that are older than the United States. So Yeah. And yeah, if you're interested in what lives in the deep ocean and you remotely suffer from nightmares, don't watch. Because a lot of those creatures are nightmare fuel. Thankfully, most tend to be quite small. Some of the worms are absolutely massive, though. There is, I think, the latest is they've found worms that are actually longer than a blue whale. So the blue whale is no longer the longest animal on the planet. Still the heaviest. Yeah, exactly. Something the size of a megalodon. Yeah, it's not enough food down there for it. There are sharks that live down there, and some of them do get a sensible size, like the goblin shark, and there's another one as well. But they like maximum of 6 feet, and they're very slow and sedate. Now the megalodon doesn't need shallow warm water. Probably do better in shallow warm water. But if it's anything like the great white and the other mackerel sharks, they're semi-warm blooded. Um, so it's kind of tricky one to explain. That they use the body heat generate, or they use the heat generated by their muscles to keep their blood above the temperature of the water. So they are technically semi-warm blooded, which means that they can withstand much colder temperatures than you might think they can, which is why we sometimes see white sharks off the coast of the UK. We also get sperm whales occasionally, but they just end up in the North Sea and get lost. And the North Sea is not deep enough for them to find any food in. I mean, you'd think 200-300 feet is quite deep, but not for a sperm whale. They feed a lot deeper than that. And we haven't got giant squid in the North Sea either. They need to be in the Atlantic. I think it was a good few years ago now. I think it was an entire pod of sperm whales. Somehow took a wrong turn, ended up in the North Sea, and all died. Yeah, they don't live at depth, so yeah, we would see it eventually. We've found things that do live at depth. Something that size, someone's going to find one at some point, and they haven't. And there are theories about giant octopi, which would explain like the disappearances in the blue holes. But again, that's still quite far-fetched. I think that's probably more likely just currents and things like that happening, or thermoclines. People jump into a no hiccups. Jump into a quarry to go swimming or something, and then they find themselves strong swimmers, but it's like only the top couple of feet of water are warm. Below that, it's still icy cold. So they dabble their feet and they go, "Oh yeah, that's nice and warm," and they jump in, jump off the edge of a cliff into some deep water, and get hypothermic real fast. Well, first of all, they go into shock because their body goes into shock because it's so cold. And yeah, that's why a lot of people do drown in, especially quarries and things like that, because there's no water movement and you get a thermocline. They tell me if I found a new cookie cutter shark less than a foot at depth, or a jellyfish or squid that never needs to come up, and I'll believe that. Yeah, exactly. Because that's realistic. It's like, oh right, yeah, that makes sense. We live on a planet with the hagfish, for crying out loud, and the lamprey, and snails with shells made of iron. I forget what that's called. I think it's a volcano snail or something like that. But yeah. So, and by the hydrothermal vents, is it Marianas or just deep in the Pacific? I can't remember. But there are sulfur-based life forms. That's what the main chemical is down there. So some of the sort of flatworms and various things that live down by the hydrothermal vents are sulfur-based life forms, not carbon-based like we are. Very strange. But there we go. Science. Daughter found a pic of a Teletubby with a lamprey and slept right since. I'm not surprised. I mean, there's a lot of hideous and horrific stuff that people can come up with for like monsters in movies and things. But you give something a lamprey mouth and it's nightmare fuel instantly. There was an episode of the X-Files, wasn't there? Was it the Leech Man or something? Living in the sewers and had a lamprey mouth. Yeah, that was freaky. Right up there with Eugene Toombs. And that's probably just resurfaced some nightmares from Andy from the 90s. But anyway, who is it? Is there anyone actually on after me these days, or has everyone decided that I kill the internet enough that they don't bother? Because if there is, they will show up on fishfamlink.net. Or I think you probably just YouTube search Fish Fam live stream or something like that, or Fish live stream. Just scroll past all the ones that are just people who are constantly 24 hours streaming their tank. Nobody 2 hours after. Oh dear. Well, in that case, everyone take a prolonged toilet break, have a good nap, eat something, or do some chores, and zoom over to whoever's stream that is, that's going to be in a couple of hours, because I've got to go get something to eat. Thank you very much, Mandy. 27 months. Oh dear. You've been a member for 3 whole pregnancies. That puts things into perspective, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you all for turning up, having a natter, having a chat, having a laugh, putting the world to rights. Have a good week. Stay safe. Peace out. I will upload a video this week, I promise. Rock on. And bye-bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Go to bed deb do 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 do. Go to bed deb do 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 do. Go to bed deb do 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 do.